I am speaking with Kevin Nagoya from the city of Cold Lake today, and we're talking about something that has happened with your systems, computer systems at the city, and it's affecting things. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, a couple days ago there on Tuesday early morning, we did have a cyber attack. An intruder did get through some of our firewall that is equipped and was able to encrypt various aspects of the city server. That being said, and it brought down the system basically corporate wide at this point because the system itself has safety failures systems. So in order to isolate itself, IT was able to bring everything down, and right now we're in recovery mode.
How has that impacted, people in the city?
Quite substantially, of course. Lots of people use the like our payments that are online system, development permits, anything including like Energy Center, being able to pay with a credit card or debit card. So all of those facets throughout the organization has been impacted as the servers did go down. And even our phones. So internally, we don't have phones, and our workstations are all encrypted as well.
It's a really difficult time at the office these days for you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Likely though, on that side is that right now, of course, the way our servers and our systems are designed, we are very compartmentalized. So when the viruses were being entered into the system and the encryptions and the algorithms that are being used, they do have a hard time, it seems, to being able to cross from one server to the next. That requires further kind of authentications and whatnot. So you may enter into one area, but you can't kind of go into others, and everything else is being brought down out of a safety measure. At this time, there has been no kind of evidence of any sensitive data being released or downloaded from the city. Those do sit on separate servers from the city, and those are still operating behind the scenes, despite that we don't have our workstations and stuff like that up online at this point.
I understand you've been able to isolate this to an IP address in Russia. It sounds like cloak and dagger stuff. What have you found out?
Cloak and dagger stuff, it can be, but I don't want to misconstrue anything that it was like a Russian area. You can do VPNs from just about anywhere in the world, including even if I did it right from my laptop here today, that I can VPN to Russia and then back, or wherever in the world pretty much these days, right? Utilizing all these softwares and whatnot. So although that the last origin kind of came from Russia, that last connection, I don't know right now where in the world that it may have been otherwise. I don't want to lay that at just that IP address is known to be utilized in these types of incidents in Russia. Yes.
Okay. So I guess what is the next step? You were talking about getting the affected systems and everything back online. How is that going?
Well, that's going pretty good. Our IT has been working pretty long hours, and then making sure that everything's kind of secured. We are going to do a staged recovery just to make sure that there is no other vulnerabilities as you bring the system online, because if it's still infected, you never know that the system might want to be able to dispatch information. We want to make sure it's testing behind the scenes before we go online fully. So it's going to be staged over the next couple of days, and hopefully that goes well. The workstations will take a little bit longer because, of course, we have multiple, like hundreds of computers that are through the organization, which it will take individuals to go from each computer to be able to kind of wipe them and then being able to stand those back up. The one thing I did want to note was the water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant, kind of all the environmentally sensitive computers. We do again have them compartmentalized, and they were not affected in this, and were not touched by the intruders trying to get into the system. So that was very positive on that. And what's helping with bringing everything back online very quickly is that not only do we have kind of duplicate backups that run on stream and online, is also we do have backups that are taken right offline. So they're disconnected and taken off-site daily. So therefore, everything has a recoverable. So it's not just one way of backing up. We have multiple backups that are stored at different locations, both online and offline. And that definitely helps with this. So at any organization that has to suffer through these, those are definitely things that you want to make sure that you're doing, and it's very well helping us on our recovery mode.
Kevin, you mentioned no sensitive information was stolen. Is that what the ultimate goal of these individuals or parties are trying to do?
Well, don't ever know what their full intent of what they're trying to do in these regards. It's probably in one form of fashion, cash is king, right? So it's about money at the end of the day, and being able to either sell data or being able to uncrypt your computers to be able to get a money transaction to uncrypt your data, which doesn't always work all the time. So keeping everything as sensitive as possible. And like I said, at this time, we have not been able to see any evidence that any data has been taken from the city in this regard.
Maybe this is a silly question, but any idea how it got into your systems?
Well, I do have information in that regard. That said, I don't want to go there in terms of details at this point because the system is coming back online and we do have to monitor it very closely just to see what's happening. So it will be a time as the investigation I'll be able to say publicly that type of information, but just for the sake of the security, I don't want to go there in detail yet.
All right. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for your time today. And I appreciate it. Hopefully everything gets back to normal where you are.